My name is Heekyoung from the School of Design at University of Cincinnati. Sookyung is my co-author from the Digital Humanities program at UCLA. In this talk, I will present our study about methodological reflections on ways of seeing. Media technologies from photography to computers have changed how we create, understand, and use images. It is critical to reflect on our ways of seeing as abilities required to interpret, negotiate, and make meanings of images through computational media, and engage with them for creative practice. In the paper, we reviewed the perspectives relevant to seeing by framing what it means to see as visual experience, as visual creativity, and as visual computing. Then we highlighted how human vision is constantly mediated by technologies and addressed creative potentials and ethical concerns regarding computer vision reshaping and redirecting human sight. In our study, we aim to illustrate a gap between generalized seeing based on statistical inferences and individual human designers' visual experience in creative practice. First, each author conducted practice-based visual inquiry with the researcher-introspective method by observing and reflecting on their subjective and exploratory process of seeing and making meanings from images. Then we compared how a computer vision program processes the same images by using IBM Watson Visual Recognition Program. And we discussed how human designers and computational visual intelligence could collaborate for creative practice. In the first phase of our visual inquiry, each author looked at these photographic images and found ourselves engaging with invisible layers unbound by the visual scenes, becoming curious about what happened before or after the captured moments, recollecting or imagining the experience of being there beyond identifying specific objects. Then in the next phase, we marked meanings found in each image with compositional lines. We adopted the rules from the book Analog Algorithms to find abstract structures that can represent an image and guide our constructive seeing, which is different from semantic mapping of individual objects by computer vision. The ambiguity of abstract compositions invited us to further imaginative seeing by projecting meanings through specific words. We listed the words to describe each image and compared them to the object classification labels suggested by the computer vision. While our words are mostly about visual qualities of objects or sentiments in relation to the viewer's memories, the computer vision returned mostly object names and colors with varying predictability scores, hardly recognizing traces of time or texture information. For example, from this photo of a white sandy plain, the computer vision recognized glacier and ice. These unexpected words made us diffract the meanings that we initially found from each photo, imagine unseen perceptual possibilities, and add new layers of meanings to abstract compositions in words, with implications for complementary seeing between human and artificial intelligence by negotiating what to see. In this example, the words suggested by the computer vision shifted author one's visual focus from the cicadas to the plant, as the computer vision didn't see them at all but only suggested specific names and parts of the plant. They made author one notice overlooked details of the plant and switch foreground and background figures in the final composition. Here, the words suggested by the computer vision confirmed author two's interpretation of the young and old leaves with color labels. And author two finalized the composition by filling with colors to amplify their visual and semiotic contrast. You can find more details of our meaning-making processes with the other photographic images in the paper. Our ways of seeing through compositional practice do not reflect general human ways of seeing, but rather show some sub-processes in the context of creative practice, which include perceiving and analyzing visual qualities to find recognizable objects, and relating them to meaningful narratives, and projecting invisible layers for further imagination. These non-linear and iterative ways of seeing as human designers were highly contextual and unbound by the visual sense, as we were drawn to find new meanings from the same images. For the same reason, some visual information was overlooked or misunderstood. By shifting the visual focus from one object or area to another in each image, we saw differently every time we repeated these sub-processes, unlike the computer vision, not prioritizing anything and suggesting everything that it recognizes, and sometimes complementing or other times conflicting with what we see. Based on our study, we discussed implications for collaborating with computational visual intelligence as agency of noticing for discursive meaning making, in new modes of creation with humans and machines in the loop, as we follow the rules to find the visual structure from images and engage it with the words suggested by the computer vision to create new meanings. We also discussed seeing as reflective and generative methods of inquiry by crafting semantic layers from a particular individual's or community's perspective beyond generalized seeing. Thank you for listening to the talk. Please let us know if you have any questions or comments, and also please check our paper for more details.